So, yes, it's over. Dude, as far as the future, I mean, that's why me and you started this thing this year, right? We're on board. There's a lot of good things. We're just going through the hangover right now, and I think more than anything, KD, because we've seen how much fun this team can be. We've seen them, like I said, you've said it. You've been on this. They're exceeding themselves. They're ahead of their time here a little bit, and just like anything, when you're a fan or you're trying to. You want to encourage this team. You want to see them to get better. And all of us right now, like I said, with the patience is the big thing. But there's no doubt about it, man. All Ranger fans will get over this hangover. We weren't supposed to win it all this year. We got bumped out. It could have been a better story, but it isn't. But the future, put your shades on, baby. It looks real good, man. And the kids are all right.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it will be a real roller coaster ride, too, because we were riding high, going into this because we were happy with the way the season ended. And obviously, this is an embarrassment here, so we're low. But I'm telling you, next week, I mean, we could have the number one pick next week. And think about how that changes your mindset immediately, where you're like, we're getting Lafreniere, we got Condre Miller coming in, We got all these other younger guys back, and suddenly you're hyped again. And you don't even remember... these 3 games are in the rearview mirror, and you're not even remembering it because it's all about the future. It was never about this year, and it's about 2 or 3 years down the road. And forget it. If we're getting the number one pick, wow, we're gonna have to start even another podcast because I'm gonna be that hyped, for this team. So.
Oh man, like I said, it is like I said, it's a hangover, man. It's all good stuff to look forward to. Being critical it's more of just frustration. Like I said, we're Ranger fans, we're diehards. You want them to win everything. I think that's the other thing too, man. The fan base was just all on board, and I think that's a good thing for the future too. I mean, it's kind of. It's all new, it's fresh, it's exciting. These guys are going to be all right. However, the coaching situation, we want Quinn to do great, right? Because if he does good, that means the team's doing good. So that'll sort itself out. And defensively, they got some big parts and more coming in. And again, I've always said, too, the forwards are, somewhat interchangeable, whether it's signings or, bringing a couple guys up or, some trades, and we'll see what happens. And, it is. The future looks good. And that's primarily why we put Go Rangers Radio together this year. Not to get, say, put the white flag up and it's over. It's about, we want to be doing this for the next few years and to watch this team grow. And we can look back on these podcasts and look back at this experience and 2020 and COVID and the breakdown and you'll ultimately, as much as I sit here and grovel about things, and that's just being a hockey guy and a hockey fan, any sport of any team, any sport that you're passionate about, everybody wants to throw a brick through a window every now and again because you get angry about these guys making mistakes or just not winning for you, whatever. But ultimately, unless you're in those shoes, unless you're, a professional athlete and a professional coach and part of a professional organization and all the pressures that go on with that. And granted, I'm not going to, these guys get paid a lot of money, KD. So, to me, that's going to stick out. Like I said, Kreider, Panarin, and Zibanejad, they get a boatload of money and they didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? So, even though two of the guys scored, a goal each, there's some things that need to be, the circle needs to be completed here. There's some gaps in this circle that's kind of, hover around it. But it's expected because, like I said, like you said, it's a young team. So let's, we'll get over this, man. We need a couple of days. We need some Tylenol, hair of the dog, KD. And, we'll wake up here in a couple of days and we'll start thinking about all the good stuff for the long term for this franchise. And that is the young goaltending, the young defensemen, the guys we have signed up front, and they'll work all those kinks out. And now with Ruff gone, at least Quinn now can, they'll get their coaching staff together. And Gorton and JD will sit back and evaluate. And that's the other great thing, too, that we have to remember. JD just got this team this year. Gorton's only had the reign here for a couple of years already, but he's already done great things with trades and picks and all that other stuff. So at the top of the administration here, at the organization here, we're in good hands, man. So, like I said, have a beer and we'll be all right.
I think it's more than okay to be upset with what went on the last 3 days, but also feel good about the future of this team. It's absolutely acceptable to sit the last 3 days and be like, what the heck just happened? What did I just witness? But not think that there's really any long-term negative ramifications of the rebuild, So I think that, we'll sit here and, we'll lick our wounds for the next couple of days. And, I bought a whole, mess of White Claws that I've just not stopped drinking since last night. And when I wake up from that, drunken stupor and probably about Sunday and, I'll say, okay, we're a young team and bright future and let's go. So, we'll be a little unhappy now. And, again, by next week, when they're pulling the Ranger name as the number one pick, we'll be pumped again. So it's all good.
All right.
Good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Deal?
Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. All good. Yeah, and you talk about the podcast, and we just obviously want to thank everybody for listening this whole year. It's been a ton of fun. You guys stuck with us, and during the COVID, and we've sort of our schedules have been all over the place a little bit, as I'm sure everybody else has been. But you guys have hung with us. And it's been awesome. We're having a great time, Paulie and I. So we just want to thank you guys for continuing to listen. And, we're going to keep this rolling, I think, here. Obviously, like we said, there's going to be a draft lotto next week. So I'm sure we'd like to talk about that. Hopefully it will be a celebratory podcast. And maybe we'll do a few more in the off season, depending on what's going on, what moves the Rangers are making. So, I agree. I think we're here for the long term with this team.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely not our final show for the season. We'll just kind of chill here and what you said, KD. We'll watch and see how a couple things go here, and then we'll put a bow on it. And once we find out where the league goes after this tournament ends up, so it'll be interesting. But yeah, look, again, me and KD just had a great time. We haven't done this in a while. We both, like I said, took a long break from talking hockey and covering the team and hanging out. And like I said, I know myself too, just, we didn't get to watch every shift and everything, and we don't try and pretend to, like we know it all and everything else. We want to have fun. And the greatest thing, and I know, Kevin, you can speak to this too, is the feedback that we've gotten all year long is like I said, the fans just pretty much enjoy it's just a couple of guys like hanging out at the bar just talking about the team and not trying to get over analytical about it. And like I said, this is the reason we came back this year is because it's a young team. We want to grow with this team, and the show is going to grow too. Obviously, it's been me and Katie primarily all year long. We'll pretty much stick to that model, but we're gonna expand some things and promotions and marketing and get some advertisers and sponsors in here, and maybe we'll keep always trying to improve the show and expand on it too. It's been a weird year, like I said, for me and Katie, just getting back into it. Obviously, us talking hockey right now in August is new to everybody. But I had an absolute blast doing this with you. And like I said, it's not the last show, but this has been great. And I am excited about the future. KD, I want to thank you as a bud just for agreeing to do this with me. Me and you, it was a DM back last July. Hey, do you want to do this? And you said, yeah. And we got together, had a cup of coffee, and here we are, in August, and we're talking about, continuing doing this. So it's been a lot of fun. It's got me back into the game. I used to do this a long time ago. So did you, and it's been fun again. And so I really want to thank you for all the time you put into this and for hanging with me and just having a blast. And ultimately, all you guys out there, primarily on the downloads and the streams and the subscribing, me and KD are just blown away by the continuous support. And we really do. We can't wait to just keep following this team and having a lot of fun. Right, KD?
Yeah, absolutely. And Yeah, absolutely. Man. Warm and fuzzy over there, Paulie. I like it, I think, But, don't thank me. I don't do anything. I just call you up and you put the whole show together and get it out. So everybody should send Paulie thank you tweets on Twitter and tell him he's doing a great job because he's the one who makes this happen. I just come here and ramble for an hour with him. So,
well,
it's been fun. It's good.
No, buddy, go ahead. The only thing I was going to say, just on you, the kudos, I appreciate it. It's a lot easier to do this today with the technology than it was, 5-7 years ago when me and you first met each other, talking high. It's even longer than that. I think it's almost 10 years ago. So I appreciate that. But it's a lot of fun to do these days because of the technology and obviously social media and everything else. So I don't want anybody to think I'm slaving here. I've got a template set up, and me and you, I hit you up. Hey, we going? Yeah, we're going. All right, and I turn a few buttons, put in a little description, and we're on our way. It was never like that years ago. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes at least it enjoyable for me, and that's for me that's what matters most is that the two of us are having fun. Is that we don't talk about the show at all. There's no outline for the show. There's no notes being passed along back and forth through us all week of what we're going to talk about. Like you said, you literally text me 5 minutes before the show. Are you ready? Like, yeah, I'm ready. And we just start talking. It's like I do it, with any of my friends when we talk Rangers. It's, we don't have an outline of our conversation. We just start talking, and it just goes, and it's just two fans talking about the team that we love. And again, I'm not out here printing stats out before the podcast and all right, let me see what this guy's shooting percentage was and his possession numbers.
You just have to hit the NHL.com app and it's right there.
Well, that is true. That is true. What are you talking about? It's all in my head, Paul. Yeah, I don't look up anything. But yeah, I mean, it's good because I think with the podcast and like you said, with the technology of it, and I know you felt it when you were doing the podcast. When I was doing the blog, at the end, you get like a real burnout from it. And I think what's really nice about the podcast, especially with the way we're doing it, just the sort of once a week format. And then, look, if it doesn't work for us, we can't do it on Wednesday. Let's do it on Thursday or Monday or whatever it is. I think that, we have the right attitude on it and that it's just, it's a fun thing for us. And when you're just doing it for the fun of it, I think it becomes more enjoyable for, us, for the listener. And I think that's why, I see it as being a real successful, first year of doing this for the two of us.
Absolutely, and the one thing I will say, me and KD down the road, we had starting to have discussions, and obviously COVID now it's crazy, but hopefully down the road, we'll get into doing some live broadcasting where we get to hang out with you guys too, because I think that's something me and you would love to do. Is just whether it's in a pub or a bar somewhere, and just kind of have anybody interested come and hang out with us and stuff while we're doing the show once in a while. I think that would be really great too. So hopefully that'll be happening too, as things continue to. So maybe what we need to do, Katie, is get out of 2020. That's it. I think we'll be all right.
That's right.
Yeah,
well, if we do those live shows, everyone has to wear a mask. Don't come without a mask on.
Goalie masks.
That's right.
Too much. All right, buddy. Look, to the Rangers fans, hang in there. Like Katie said, maybe we'll have a first-round draft pick there in a couple weeks or whatever. It's been a wild run. It's been a good run, but a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it, and I'm going to toss to you, KD, as we always do. Like I said, not last show of the season, but last show at least for until, I don't know, we'll tweet you guys when we're ready to go. So, KD, as always, say goodbye to the folks.
Bye, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Go Rangers Radio. And as always, let's sign off one more time here at the end of this season for the New York Rangers in 2021 or whenever the hell it is again. Let's go Rangers!